Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Vecchione.
And I'm Greg Stone.
And we are the Macaroni Rascals. It's a great new podcast. Me, my friend Greg Stone, we riff, we talk Italian stuff, we talk comedy. We basically just have a good time. Greg?
Yeah, I think it's great, and you're great. I love you, and we'll do more.
I love you, and I love doing this podcast from the darkest corner of your apartment.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Macaroni Rascals. Thank you for tuning in. You know me, Gary Stove, and that's Michael V, the funny man himself.
Baby Meatballs.
Baby Meatballs. That was it.
Meatballs.
And Riggs.
Riggs.
Someone else told me I had a nickname that I totally forgot about.
Gregatoni?
No, there was like another one.
In the comments, Gregatoni.
Gregatoni?
Yeah.
Did you say Greg Atoni?
Yeah. Pretty good.
Pretty? That's perfect.
It's fantastic.
That was the coach just set you in. They gave you the ball, and you close your eyes and got it right in the hoop. Is that a good basketball reference? He got it in the
that's
hoop.
A good one. Got it. The ball went right in the hoop.
He got it in the hoop.
That was pretty great.
He throws the ball to his friend. His friend kicks it. He got it in the hoop.
Gregatoni?
Gregatoni. Hey, we can't be timing our coffee sips at the same time.
Well, you got a local coffee. I've got Dunkin'.
You like Dunkin'?
I do like Dunkin'.
Why? There's 3 great coffee shops in my house. Every time you come, you get Dunkin'.
Dunkin' is right off the train, but you're right. I should support local businesses.
Well, I want you to support local flavors, whatever your favorite flavor is. Do you prefer?
Because the flavor is syrup, and the syrup is terrible for you. It's just sugar.
Do you prefer Dunkin' over Starbucks?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's more of a blue collar.
That's right. Yeah, that's who we are. You're Dunkin' and I'm Starbucks. You know, you're a man's man, a pipe fitter. I'm a foo-foo artist screaming for the rights of people I've never even met.
You're superficial. You have to give your name. Can you give your name so we can call you and make it more personable? Dunkin' Donuts doesn't do that.
They have one name for everyone. Oh, can we edit that out? Why did that come out? Edit that out. God, just bleep over that. What am I doing? I couldn't. I saw it coming, and it came out. It just came out.
You saw it in real time.
I saw the car coming, and I just stood there and watched it like a deer as it hit me, and I rolled right over the window.
Yep. I
couldn't think of another name.
How about Bozo? Didn't we establish that?
Yes. Yeah. Everyone at Dunkin'
Bozo.
Oh, that's it. That's here. That's the
listen, I went off of it. Can I chastise you?
Hit me.
And go, Greg, that's wrong. You know what you're doing. And then I'll go, Bozo is what we use now.
Maybe can we do the Macaroni Rascals challenge? Go to your local Starbucks, and when they give you your name, tell them Bozo. Okay. And then we videotape them going, Starbucks for Bozo, and we'll retweet it. That's the Macaroni Rascals challenge. Get someone to call you Bozo in real life, and we'll retweet it. That's the Mac Chow. That's this week's Mac
Challenge. That's the Macaroni Challenge.
The Macaroni Challenge, Bozo.
I'm glad we're doing something good with our lives. We're getting people to get called Bozo so that we can retweet it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing like, when I was in school, this is what it was about.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell you real quick, Mike, today we put Calvanucci on his first ever solid food.
Get out.
It's like barely solid. It's like an oatmeal thing. Mm-hmm. Real Gavin, this guy. He ate everything. And then he started crying for half hour straight. An inconsolable cry that made me he's just like his father, I eat too much macaroni, and then I cry for an hour and I make tea to rub my belly. And so he's next week, real solids. I don't know. No jokes there. Just
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
As a non-father, and there's a lot of non-fathers out there, what's an inconsolable cry? It's like you're trying to go, it's going to be okay. And he goes, no, it's not. It's not going to be okay. It's terrible. Is that inconsolable, Greg?
Yeah.
Talk yet. That's that's the vibe he's giving you. Like, it's not going to be okay.
It was very similar to before the podcast when you were telling me about a bit that wouldn't happen for you. And you just kept crying about this bit. And I said, it's going to be okay, Mike. The bit will work. And you kept saying, it's not going to be okay. I wanted to get a laugh. I wanted to get a laugh.
Inconsolable. Fans miss the sound effects, Greg.
I just want you to know they're there because I just remembered.
So a small amount of oatmeal is apparently what throws Calvin's day off.
Well, I also mixed in some red sauce. Tita told me not. She doesn't know about that. I think I think it was the milk that made him cry. But you got to put a little red sauce in there.
You got to put a little red sauce in the oatmeal. How's he going to learn?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, my father used to do. My father used to make grits with butter and then put leftover sauce from the night before in the grits and then put a little Parmesan cheese on it. What a dago. What a dago he was. I mean, God rest his soul. But who does that? Who puts, because I mentioned that to other people and they go, what? I go, yeah, it's grits, puts a little sauce, little red sauce, mixes it in. So it's like, and then puts a little Parmesan cheese on it, has it for breakfast.
I can't tell if you're being serious. We need a code word.
I'm being serious.
Because the only reason I think you're being serious is it's kind of amazing.
It's kind of brilliant.
You ate it or only your dad ate it?
No, I started doing it too.
Is it good?
It's really good.
I got to try this. That's another
little butter, a little bit of sauce, some Parmesan, grits.
What's the flavor like?
We've turned the South on their head. Southern Italy, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Can I get a sound effect there?
That's right, people.
We'll be right back with more breakfast ideas.
Tell me the flavors. Walk me through the flavors. Walk me through the flavor of what this tastes like.
I mean, it's like having a light pasta in the morning. It's all the flavors of a pasta, but with a light breakfast, like grits, a light breakfast meal.
A breakfast pasta is something. That's the restaurant we open. Breakfast pasta.
Breakfast pasta.
Bacon, egg, and elbows. You know? Spaghetti. Oh, spaghetti and yolk.
Spaghetti and eggs.
Yeah. This is something. What kind of bread do you do in the morning? Will you do French toast? Do they do like a French toast pasta? That sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
You use syrup. Well, just kind of, you put syrup on the
no syrup,
spaghetti.
Only sauce. No syrup, only sauce. The sauce is the syrup. I don't know.
The sauce is the syrup. Mm-hmm. Oh boy! So how's the roadman? What state are you in right now?
Can I tell you a long story, Greg?
Sure.
And you can interrupt me at any time. But it's kind of like my travel has been a little bit crazy. I go to leave on Thursday morning. Katie is leaving at the same time. My significant partner, which is what we're calling people now, my significant partner, Katie, we're leaving at the same time. We get in the so we're leaving the airport at the same time. That's good. We take a lift. I have to take the garbage out and all that stuff because it smells if I leave it. So we do all that. And I'm a fanatic. I have to unplug everything because of my fire safety training. I mean, the fans know. Yeah. But we both leave together. We get an Uber to LaGuardia, both leaving about the same time. We get in, and I don't know if you know this, but for Valentine's Day, the day after Valentine's Day, we had plans to go to an Italian restaurant. We had plans to celebrate Valentine's Day. I go to the gym. I lose track of time. I get back. It's too late to go.
Okay.
So I go, it's just my fault. I'm sorry. And she goes, okay, I'm not mad. She goes, I was initially mad because you didn't lost track of time, but I'm not mad. Whatever. I'm like, okay, good. So she went back. She cooked and then we ate and it was forgotten. We rescheduled for Monday, this coming Monday. And so we're in the car and she goes, well, what's the deal Monday? You're good for that, right? I go, yeah, I'm going to get back to town at like 2. I'm going to drop my stuff off. I'm going to go to my podcast at 4 to 5, do the podcast, meet you at 6 for dinner. She goes, don't you think that's a little bit tight? We're going to miss it again. I go, she goes, do you want me to cancel it? I'll just cancel it. I go, then cancel it. I don't know. It's like, I haven't had a coffee yet. It's first thing. I'm like, just cancel it then. She goes, but are you going to make it or not? Like, I don't know why you scheduled all this stuff.
So women move.
I go, either cancel it or don't, or I'll make it. Cancel it, or don't cancel it, and I'll make it, or I'll cancel. You want me to cancel my podcast? I'll cancel everything. I just don't want to be in this fight. It's the morning, dude. Yeah, we're about to go travel. We're not going to see each other. Like, come on. And so we end up getting an argument in the Uber. We're having an argument, and the guy is like, my rating probably went super low. Like the comment,
fights with his wife.
Yeah, well, the comment is doesn't like to be pushed about dinner. Doesn't respond well when pushed on dinner. So, so we make up, like we pull up the thing. It's like there's no time. We either have to just go away mad or like somebody has to. So I go, okay, well, bye, I guess.
Oh, this is the worst.
Yeah. So we're having a fight about like, are we going to leave like this?
Right.
Finally, like I soften. We both have masks on, by the way, so I can't tell her facial expressions.
Yes.
So I soften. I go, okay, like, I'm sorry. Let's not leave like this. Let's have a good trip. And she goes, okay. And I kiss her and get my luggage out. And the guy's like sitting there. I'm trying to talk to her while he's in the back waiting for me to get my luggage. Yeah. And I apologize to him. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. So he goes, yeah, it's good. I know. Yeah. And so I get the bags and then I go into the airport. Okay, I'm going to leave you space because this is long. So
right. I'm actually just enjoying a story a friend is telling me. I don't have to punch it up.
No, you don't have to punch it up, but do you want to, the fans want to hear from you. Like when you get into a fight with Tita, like before bed or when there's a time limit on the fight,
right.
Do you soften? Like it's very hard to soften there because you're furious.
Yeah.
But if there's a time constraint, like you're leaving or going to sleep or something, do you soften and go, come on, babe, let's not do this.
I'll tell you the move. This is the move I do every time. You get her wild up a little more, and then you just go, and this is what I've said this before. I go, shut up, and kiss me. And then you grab her, pull the makeup down, and you jam your tongue as hard as you can down her throat, just as hard as you can until she goes, and then you pull her away and you go, that's Rigimortis. And then you get on the plane. That's what I do.
That's a Hollywood goodbye. Is that a Hollywood?
That's a Hollywood goodbye. Yeah, a Hollywood goodbye.
You ramp it up. You ramp up the anger.
Yep. Get her angry.
First of all, shut up sets me off.
Yeah. It gets you here.
Yeah.
And then the kiss, it makes the kiss so much more passionate. And then you grab her, you pull her close, and then you pull her away, and you have to say something. You say something Italian, and I go, that's a Rigimortis. And then you leave her away. And then you get on the plane.
I don't know if Rigimortis is technically Italian, but I think we can.
You get the vibe.
I think that's more of a medical condition, but I get what you're saying. I'm rooting for it.
Yeah,
that's interesting, Greg. That's a you always have you're an idea guy, man, and that's really a great idea. I didn't do
or you could do the 30 compliments. If you're on the phone and you're fighting and you know like you have to hang up, you go, okay, let's stop. Let's give each other 30 compliments. And let me tell you, after 5. It gets hard, okay? Because, it's like you're sweet, you're nice, you're funny, you're beautiful. Your shoes are cool. By the time you get to 30, you've already forgotten about the argument because you have to think of every single thing that anyone has ever done in the relationship.
That's so great. Katie used to do this. Is Katie used to do it. She goes, now listen, she did it very seriously. She goes, listen, I want to say I love you into your mouth for 15 minutes. I go, who's got time for that? Hey, who's got time for that? He goes, now listen, I'm just 15 minutes. I'm going to say I love you into your mouth.
Into your mouth.
Into your mouth.
I just want to be clear, you're saying not into the ear. She says it into your mouth, which is not
mouth. 15
a
minutes
way the brain takes audio.
I would flip out. I would go, no one's got time for that. She's obviously kidding. And then she would do it once. I love you. She would like do it into my mouth a bunch. She would just do it without my consent into my mouth. And I would like, no one's got time for I was serious about it.
It's so funny. No time. Great. I love you're so stressed on time.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. So
great. I get out of the car. Your solutions are unbelievable. And I think a lot of our fans are going to take it home and use it in their macaroni related lives. Anyway, I get into I just put my credit card in. I haven't checked in. I don't know how to check in online because I'm from the 1800s. So I go and I put my credit card in to get my ticket. It shoots out a ticket. The ticket has 8:15, getting me in at 9 p.m. And then I look at the ticket and it's like, oh, this is for tomorrow.
Wait, what?
I'm like, oh, this has got to be some mistake. So I go to the counter.
The plane ticket is for tomorrow?
For tomorrow.
And you're there already?
I'm there already. 8 a.m. And the plane ticket is like 8 a.m. If I went on this flight, I miss the show that night and I miss all the shows the next night. So I go to the ticketing agent. I go, yeah, I don't know what this is, but this doesn't help me at all. Like I might as well not go on the trip. And she goes, your flight's been canceled. and the flights are all canceled because of ice in Dallas, an ice storm. So it's like, I don't know. And I go, well, but what's the plan? Like, I can't take this flight. I need to go on business. Like, I'm going to miss the trip. Like, I might as well, should I just go home or I can't use this flight? So should I just go home? And she's like, the flight's canceled. So I don't know what to do. There's nothing. I mean, can you put me on another airline? Like any kind of a solution would be good instead of, I don't know what to tell you. Like
empathy.
Like basically, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So this is it's like you already have a problem, and I'm not. Admittedly, one of my weaknesses, I'm not the best problem solver. Mm-hmm. Like I remember I was locked out of my apartment in Philly when I was in my early 20s, and for me it made sense to just run my head into the door. I just ran into the door for hours, trying to break the door. I never thought like, let me go through a window, let me call somebody. I just kept running into the door.
The door opens or death. I like that. You go, the door will open or I will be dead. That is it.
Bloody stump in the hallway. Right.
Yeah, I get it.
So I only have one. That's a weakness of mine. So, but I'm older now. I'm a little bit wiser. So I step away from her because I understand. I'm like, okay, she's not helping me. She's not trying to help me in any way. This is a problem. So I step away and I go, okay. So I text the club and I go, look, this is what's happening. They're making it seem like there's no way I'm going to get to the show. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try other options. I get back in line and deal with in the same line and just deal with a different customer service person. Yeah. And I go, look, can you just I figure I'm going to go home anyway. Like this is, when you start looking at it from that perspective, like, oh, I'm just going to go home and this is go home. It's not my fault and it's done. I can just take a cab home. But
let go and let God.
Before I do that, let me at least try some options here. I mean, I'm not doing anything today anyway. The whole thing is planned for the trip. So let me just try some stuff. So I go up to her and I go, okay, do I have any other options, please? And I'm being very sweet. And she's a sweeter woman. So she's like, I can get you on the 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I go, okay, can you reserve that for me? And then can you put me, because what happened, Greg, and I don't know if you could, American Airlines did this thing where they go, it's weather related. So that gives them license to do anything.
Right.
Once they say it's weather related, they go, it's not our fault. It's weather related. Now we don't have to reimburse you. We don't have to get you a hotel. We don't have to do anything. We can just move you to a different flight.
Yell at Mother Nature.
What they did was they canceled every other flight. So if it would have been really weather related, they would have just canceled all the early flights until the storm passed. But instead they did every other flight. So I don't know if they were understaffed. They wanted to save money on fuel. Whatever. Right. They canceled every other flight.
Let me pause you real quick. Weather to them is whether or not they want to go. And I'll be honest, we don't really want to go. So it's weather related. That's what they said. Well, it's weather related. Whether we're going to be there, no, we're not going to go. So it's called whether or not.
Whether or not. That's a good segment. Whether or not.
Whether I hate to be a callback to Rad Dudecast fans. I used to have a segment called Whether or Not, which where the fan, where we do a quiz and you have to guess whether it's weather or not. We'll do a quick round. A rock.
Not.
Is that weather?
No.
Yeah, you get a point. It's a pretty easy game. It's called Whether or Not. You just didn't tell me it's whether or not. Anyway.
It makes you feel smart.
Yeah. Could I add another point to your thing? Let me tell you this about the airlines. This is what, if I ran American Airlines, what I would do is if I had this bad news to give someone, they're cold and they're dicks. Right. They should come around the corner. And I know in the Me Too age, this isn't appropriate, but I think we should have certain exceptions. They grab you like a bear or like a spider with 100 arms, and they hold you close and they whisper in your ear. They go, the flight's canceled. And the more you try to struggle and get away, the tighter they hold you. The tighter, and they go, we're sorry, it's canceled. And then you cry, and then they put your head into the shoulder and they just go, there. And that's how they should handle it, okay? They shouldn't just go, it's weather, goodbye. They should snoodle you. Or was it called snoodle? Cuddle you. I'm not good with words today, by the way.
No, you're great with idea, dude. You're coming up with a lot of. I don't know if you've been watching a lot of romantic comedies, because everything is romantic comedy related. Every solution is a romantic comedy ending for you. And I don't know if you just watched a marathon last night. because you're coming with that mindset, and I gotta say, I love it.
You know, when you like have a weird craving for a food because it's like, yeah, your body just needs salt right now.
Right.
Like you're just like, that's what's happening. My body just needs love. I've had a hard week and I just need to be held, whether it's by American Airlines or Mike Vecchione or just a stranger in the street. My body is craving it.
I love it. Yeah. This is a feelings-based. There's no other feelings-based macaroni podcasts out there. There's really not. We're not just talking about macaroni. We're talking about the emotions behind macaroni.
Yeah. I also want to say, man, our pacing today on the Zoom, I'm pretty proud of us. It's working. I like what you're doing. We're getting this. We're figuring out the little bit of a shuffle. Anyway, continue your story. So,
even though I like it better in person.
It's the best in person, but this is a little different thing, and I'm enjoying it. You tell a story, and then you give me a green light, and then I go for a green light, and then I go back in the park.
It's a lot of good ideas here. Okay, so I'm at the nice ticketing agent now, and she goes, I'm going to put you on a 6 a.m. for tomorrow morning. I'm just going to reserve it just in case. But in the meantime, I'm like, can you put me on standby for every other flight leaving today? Every other flight leaving today, I'll just go from, if I don't make it, because the other lady goes, you can go standby, but there's like 25 people waiting to go stand. You'll probably never get on those flights. So I go, can you put me on standby every flight? And there's a flight because they like I said, they canceled every other flight. They canceled my flight, canceled every other one. So she goes, okay. And I go, listen, I'm kind of dumb. So can you write down what I say to the ticketing agent if all the standbys fail?
I love this.
I need to get a ticket tomorrow. What I say.
The script.
She goes, I'll write it on the back of the ticket. She wrote exactly what to say on the back of the ticket. That's how I get it. That's how I do it. I go, look, I'm pretty dumb.
Yeah.
So can you just help me?
I love that you knew what you needed.
Passion for dumb people, Greg.
Wait, you knew what you needed. You did it smart. You handled the problem. You said, I know the problem tomorrow, and I need to get a tip of this. You need to write me a script because tomorrow I'm going to go, I don't know, planes? I'm supposed to be in the air? And they're going to go, what? And you're going to go, they wrote it down for me. Dear blank. What is your name? Larry. Dear Larry, I was supposed to, I love that you did that. You are a problem solver. You solved that problem. Like amazing. You said you knew exactly. I would have been too embarrassed to be like, I'm so stupid. I know it's gonna be a problem. You said, I'm proud of who I am. This is what I am. We're gonna fix this now. I love that.
If fat people can do it and other people can own their disabilities or whatever, why can't I?
Yeah.
I don't know how to deal with this.
You did. You should have had to. Can you just record yourself saying you, and then you play this is the woman from yesterday. Hi, I'm the stewardess from yesterday. Yeah. And you just say it to me. It's a great solution.
That's right. I mean, recording it would have been even better.
It would have been crazier. I don't know if they would have went for that, but I love that she wrote it down.
But can I say what it does psychologically? It goes, look, It puts them in a position of power also as an expert. Because these people are ticketing agents, and no disrespect to ticketing agents, they work hard, but it's like, and they have a job, but it's like, do they actually it makes them feel like a doctor, because it's like, look, you don't know what you're doing. I do know. This is my job. I know stuff. It kind of empowers them to help you. It's like, I'm going to help you because I know my job. I'm good at my job, and I'm going to help you, a person of lesser intelligence. So it kind of empowers them.
I hope they say that to you too. Did she write that on the paper? Hi, I'm a person of lesser intelligence.
No, I'm the person.
I know. You're the one saying it. You're the one with the script. Hello, I am a man of lesser intelligence. This is a note that the stewardess wrote for me yesterday. That's funny. That's funny. So, okay. So you got the note. She writes it down.
She writes the note down. Now I'm on all the standbys, and I'm like, okay, there's a good chance I could get through. Even though they said the standbys, they canceled entire flights. So it's like, okay, there's not, maybe I'll get there tonight. I might miss the show. So I go through TSA. By the way, TSA pre-check, I mean, they just rely heavily on the fact that they did a background, because everything just goes, they don't stop you at all. Everything.
They hope you didn't have any kind of moment since you got pre-checked that has now twisted your mind.
It's $85 and you're good.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like when you did the pre-check, I hope you didn't go through a divorce in between this, that you want to take a plane out now. They should go pre-check, but also, how's your week been? They should just do one question. Like, did you flip? I don't know. Have you talked to anyone weird?
Anything emotional happened this week? That's there's a pilot who I don't know, he was like a German guy, something, I forget what ethnicity, but he flew the plane into a mountain, and they found out he had just been going through a divorce, or like his girlfriend broke up with him or something. So that's a real thing. It's like, you really should, for the pilots or whatever, it's like, how is everything today? Is everything good? Like,
It's very real.
Are you good? Like, how's your wife? Like, is everybody okay? Like, kids
still alive?
Yeah.
Any ex-girlfriends just show up?
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you feeling? Good.
Standby. You are on standby for every plane, which is insane. I mean, I can't believe they let you do this.
I go, no, they didn't let me do it. They go, listen, you go by standby for this 12:30 flight. If you can't get on that, ask the ticketing agent to put you on standby for the next flight. Right. And then if you can't get on that one, ask the ticketing agent to put you on standby for the next flight. And if worse comes to worse, come back at 6:30 a.m. because we've reserved you. And she told me exactly, the writing down of what to say. So I go for the 12:30. Now, keep in mind, they canceled all these flights. So there's just a crowd of standby people just around the counter. And so this guy, the agent, one of the agents that works there, comes from around the counter and does this big production about, if you're on standby, you need to get away. You need to get away because we need to board all of the people who have seats first, and then we'll get to you. But we're not bored. We're not going to, there's no need to check in with us. You're on standby. You don't have a seat. We'll get to you after we seat everybody, dude. So you just need to get, and people still like clung in there because it's called standby. It's not called stand away, Greg.
Yeah. They should rename it. Just have a seat. Have a seat. It's not happening.
Yeah.
You're on have a seat. It's not happening. You're on the hang at the airport for 9 hours and then go home mad. That's what they should call it.
They should call it "Get out of here." Get out of here. That's what you're basically saying. Get out of here.
Everyone who's boarding, get out of here. We have no more seats, Kokenya. Get out of here. Sorry, I love it. Sorry.
So he makes this big production, and then he comes, and then he says, "If you don't get out of here, if you don't go sit down, I'm going to call TSA."
Yeah,
which I didn't know was I guess, TSA. I didn't think they did anything but the checks at the security. He goes, but apparently you can call them for backup if they give the ticketing agents a hard time at the gate. Yeah. So he threatens us. He goes, I'm going to call TSA and they're just going to clear the area. I'll call him. He goes, I'll call him. You want to push it? Because I'll call him.
I'm going to call your father.
Yeah.
I'll pull the car around. I'll pull the fucking car around. I'm not going anywhere. You're not getting McDonald's. If anyone on Get Out of Here gives me attitude, none of you are getting McDonald's.
You standbys. You guys are nobodies. Okay? I want you to know that right now. That's the way he's talking to us. Yeah. And I know it's like because he was under stress, sure. But he's like, you guys, I'll call TSA and he'll clear the entire area.
So funny.
So after this tongue lashing, and this guy's real animated. He's like, must have done a one-man show or some kind of a theater before because he's real animated. So we all
just to paint a picture real quick. Is he a man of the association of loving other men? This kind of man is a sexually gay man?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. No,
because sometimes they go real big and it just adds painting. Yeah, no, adds color to the painting.
I wouldn't say, but I would say very animated and just like a guy under stress trying to do his job. Like you can see somebody trying to do their job and the stress affecting them. I always have more compassion for them, even if they're really shitty, because it's like, I get this. I get the stress is like, it's not having to do with anybody. It's just like you're having trouble handling the stress.
Yeah.
So we all step back. And now when I step back, like there's kids and people are crying and all kinds of like inconsolables.
Sure.
Can I bring that back?
Yeah.
Children are being crying and they're inconsolable. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to hear. And they board everybody who has a seat. And then as less people are around the ticketing gate, I go up and I go, can I get on? Did you call me? Right. And she goes, yeah, we called you, but the doors are closed now and you can't get on the flight. And I go, how did you call me? I'm back there. I can't hear. And not for nothing, but everybody who's doing the announcements, they'll have massive accents, which is fine with me, but you have an accent. And also you're saying it into a mask.
Right.
No one takes their mask down to say clearly into the microphone, which I don't understand either. If you could pull your mask down to eat, you can pull your mask down to save somebody from missing their flight. And you already have an accent. So already,
and you told us to get over there.
Right. I'm all the way back because the guy made a big one-man show production about getting away from the gate. So she understands. I think she gets, because I go, like, he told us to get back. I can't hear. You guys are into the mask. She goes, I'm sorry. She goes, I'm sorry. Here, get on the next one. The next one's at 3. So I'm going to write.
Okay, real quick, time check. You got there at 8 p.m. The flight she just offered you was 3 p.m.
9. My flight was at 10:50.
Oh, this is a 6-hour already.
Yeah, the next flight was at 12:30.
Okay.
So now this flight was my flight that canceled was at 10:50. This flight that I missed because of hearing is on it was at 12:30, and the next flight's at 3.
Okay.
So she goes, I'm sorry, we can't get, because I waited there until they closed it. She goes, let me see if they have any more seats. And I'm sorry, they closed it. They're not going to reopen it. I go, all right. She goes, get on this 3 o'clock. So go stand by for it. So I take the ticket and I go, now I have a couple hours. So I get something to eat. That helps. I get some coffee. That helps. So I'm feeling okay. And then, but I'm standing like really around the gate of the next flight. And the lady, same thing. They get on, they start making now I'm standing super close.
Right.
So I go up to the ticketing agent and I give her she goes, you're on standby. I go, I know I'm on standby. I go, can I say something though?
Yeah.
I go, the last thing that happened, the last time I was on standby, I couldn't hear them. So please don't leave me behind if I'm on the list. I can't hear. She goes, well, if you can't hear, you better stay close. I go, all right, dude.
Here I am.
So I'm like, there's people in wheelchairs, like everybody's angling to get up. And I'm like just standing next to a wall, like just listening and watching because I don't want to get left out. They're doing the whole it's crowded now. Everybody, they're boarding the handicaps and the babies and all that stuff first. And I'm waiting and they start boarding everybody. The only thing that saves me, Greg, is the only thing how I didn't miss the flight again. Because again, they're saying it into a mask, I don't even think they're saying your name. I really don't think they're get on the flight. Yeah, they're doing that. They're no one can hear.
No one's hearing baby meatballs over the loudspeaker.
No one's hearing baby meatballs over the loudspeaker. I'm sitting there, and I see my name on the board as a standby, and they've given me a seat. Okay. So once I see that, I take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Because I want proof now.
Yeah, evidence.
In the American Airlines court system. Mm-hmm. And I go up to as they're boarding, I go, do you have my seat? And she hands me the thing. I'm like, she must have said my name and I missed it.
Hands you the
Other people were calling up like, did you say my name? I can't. Did you say my name? And it's like, just assume that she said, I just handed it to her and she gave me a seat. And I'm like,
you went in.
I went in, but I would have missed the flight again. And I was standing right there. I would have missed it again.
When she's giving you attitude,
not be self-aware enough to know. How is somebody on their staff not self-aware enough to know? You got to say the names clearly, or people are not going to come up here. There's a lot going on.
When she's speaking into the thing in the mask on the microphone, you should have grabbed her mask, screamed at her, like, "You goddamn bitch!" Pull the mask down, and then went, "Shut up and kiss me." Just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and kiss me. And then you make out with the flight attendant. You'll get on your flight. You'll get it. You'll get a flight.
Probably get a better seat.
Yeah. She'll get a seat in your face. How you doing?
Yeah. Hello.
Boom. That's great. So you got on your flight and you were good. And did you miss any shows?
I get the middle seat. So it's not over yet.
Okay.
I get into Dallas. There's no ice, by the way, on the ground in Dallas. It's crazy.
It's 90 degrees.
It's cold, but there's no ice anywhere to be found.
Right.
So I'm waiting. Every airport's got different place to. I don't know what they're doing. Like every airport has a different place to wait for Ubers, and it's almost like I think the taxi people want you to get confused as to where the Ubers are, because sometimes you got to go up, over, and then 3 blocks, and that's where you get it. It's like. There's always these different tricks as to where you pick up the ride. Yep.
I always do the incoming because you're not supposed to. Right. But I go to the incoming, have them come to the incoming, and they pick you up and you get out.
But that's in New York. But like the different cities have different zones. So if you don't go to the right zone, then, whatever, then they don't come or there's a whole big problem. So I go to the right zone, the guy comes. And first of all, you ever do that where you get off a flight? As soon as we land, I hit the Uber or the Lyft app and it goes, it's $180. It's like, it's more than the flight. Getting to the club is more than the flight. Is that what you're saying? It's like, oh yeah, price surge. They do that thing where it's like a price surge. So I get it down to like $30, whatever it is, $30.
All right.
So the guy comes and I'm talking his ear off about what's going on. And it's like a 20-minute ride and I'm going right to the club now. There's no stopping at the hotel because I'm just barely getting there. So I get to the club and the guy's a nice guy and I get out of the car and this has happened a few times now. I go to get my luggage and the guy starts driving away.
Wait, what?
I get out of the car. I have luggage. I go to get. He forgot. He forgot that I have luggage, so he starts driving away. Now I start running after him, and I'm like holding onto the car, and I'm like hitting the back of the car, knocking on it. He stops. He gets out. And he goes, "I'm sorry about that. I was going to drive off."
That's fair. I'll be honest. That's fair. That's fair.
So I got off. I get my luggage and I go in. And that's the
would even be funnier is if you drove away with your luggage, but not only drove away the luggage, the door shut on your shirt and pants and then drove and ripped your clothes off. And now you're in your underwear with no clothes. And like a Mr. Bean sketch. You have to now perform.
That would be the best. If my luggage was gone and my clothes got ripped off and I was standing in 3-degree weather in my underwear.
What's that old Benny Hill song?
Yeah.
That's Sanford and Son. Anyway, that would have been the ultimate. So he
yakety sax.
How'd they go, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're running around the cab driver's running around, and everyone's naked, and women are there in their underwear.
Then there's women running around somehow. Benny Hill always had.
He was a horn dog, and I respect it.
He would have been canceled. How fast would he have been canceled now?
Why? Why is this even in the sketch? Why are there women in their underwear even in their sketch? I like them. Then he starts crying. I want naked women in the sketch.
Oh, Benny Hill was the best and the worst.
He was giving jobs to women who couldn't act.
Mm-hmm.
He was a job creator.
Okay. So that's the end of my story. But that was the whole it started out with the whole day. You ever have one of those days where it's like, this is kind of hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even tell you about my fucking day. Well, real quick, can I do a quick one about that, and then maybe tag it with my horrible day? It was 2 days ago. Very similar situation. Almost exactly to the T. I don't remember exactly how it went down. It's in my Facebook stories. I was Facebook storying it the whole time, and I saved it. They somewhat canceled my flight or something. Then they kept trying to jump me on the next flight. But all the next flights I couldn't get on. I just couldn't get on them. So now I'm watching every time they would do a flight, they would go, hello, if anybody would like to go on another flight, we will give you $100 credit, right? And I watched it happen. I saw them they gave someone $1,000 to miss their flight, right? And I went, wow. So that happens again. They're going. And I went, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen this. Do not take $300. They will go to $1,000. Hold the line. And I know, and literally they kept going, we like to offer we offer you $500. And people were going, I kind of want to went, hold. I just kept going, hold. $600. Hold. Lady behind me, the guy behind me goes, or someone behind me, I don't remember who it was, but someone goes, I'm with you, dude, till the end. We're getting $1,000. We're getting $1,000. They get up to $900. And I went, I'm telling you, $1,000. She go, $950. Guy goes, $950. Takes the $950 because he knew we were all waiting to get $1,000. And he went, so I'll take the $950. So he got $950. They get a flight, whatever. I ended up being in that airport for 12 fucking hours. Just jumping from plane to plane to plane to plane. They eventually couldn't get it, canceled it. And I don't remember exactly what happened. Maybe I think I came back the next morning for they're like, you can definitely be on the flight at 6 a.m. or something. But I was in the airport for 12 hours, furious.
When was that?
Pre-COVID.
Oh yeah.
That was the thing though. Because of COVID, my flying fear has gotten so much worse now that like I just don't. I think the minute they said to you the ice, I went, okay, I'm going home. I'm done. Not only am I going home, I'm done with comedy. I quit comedy. I'm going to go work at Target. That's how fucking horrified I am that's how just anxiety ridden flying makes me.
No, that's really I was proud of myself that after the first ticketing agent, I went back and I go, okay, I got to calm. For me, what's better is if I've already lost. Right. I already go, okay, it's all lost anyway. Like I'm probably just going to go home. But before I go home, let me try a couple things.
Right.
Once I do that, and instead of like I gotta figure this out. I'm trying. If I just go, look, it's already lost. I'm just gonna go home.
Right.
Like, before I go home, let me just give these couple things a shot. That's always better for me.
Right. Yeah. You did the right move, and you got there, and you're there now. I mean, you're there. You made it, right?
I did make it.
Let me tell you. Can I tell you about 2 days ago?
Sure.
Is it okay? Do we still have time?
Yeah, we got time.
Okay, and I'll try to do pauses so you can kick in. It was honestly like 6 things that were all in a row. And look, I'm about to tell you something that might be me shit talking a club. I'm not going to mention the club's name.
Yeah,
but it's a real thing that happened, and I'm only telling the truth. So whatever it is, fuck them, right?
Okay.
So wake up in the morning, take Calvin for a walk. Tita notices a car almost hits another car. They're screaming at each other. Also, there's like a weird angle where this car is blocking the corner, so I kind of have to poke my head out around the corner so we can cross. The light turns green. I go to cross. The woman who is fighting slams on the gas. Miss Tita grabs me, misses Calvin's stroller by 3 inches. I'm not kidding. And I was shaken up all day. I was like, what the fuck? Like, literally, like, to the core, shaken. I was like, and he was like, we're good. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway. So that's where I'm at starting mentally.
Right.
I have a road gig. Bringing Elle, she's a comedian, very funny girl, bringing her with me. The booker, he can be weird or whatever. So I know in my head that this guy could be weird. So I message him before we leave. I go, hey, real quick, what are you paying the feature again? What are you paying the feature? Because I knew there was no comment of how much he was paying the feature. And he goes, you're paying the feature. And I went, no, I'm not. Now, this is a 5-hour gig. I have to drive 5 hours there. Or 3 or 4 hours there, 3 or 4 hours back, for like no money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the money. I don't give a shit. I'll tell you the money. It was $400. Right. Okay. Right. Not enough money. Then for me to pay the feature, I would give them $50 to $100 because I think that's fair. I'm not giving someone $50 to drive with me for 4 hours.
Right.
Right. I have to at least give her $400. Then minus gas, that's $50. Tolls is another $30. I'm going to drive 5 hours for $200. Like, no fucking way. The only reason I even took it is because I'm trying to run this hour a little bit, and I don't want to get on a plane, so I'm just trying to do as much close road work. Right. So he goes, you're paying the feature. I said, I'm not paying the feature. You are. And then he goes, no, that's not how it works. And I went, show's canceled. The show is canceled. And he was like, what? What do you mean the show's canceled? Like, we're not coming. You want to fucking do this? He goes, I can't believe you'd fuck me for $50. And I went, I didn't fuck you. You fucked you. You're the one who's not. You could bend down $50. And I was like, not 50, it's 100. Okay. Because the thing is, he doesn't want me to fuck. He doesn't want to fuck the feature to their face. So he makes me have to pay them. So I'm the asshole. Like, I'm not doing that. I went, show's canceled. So I canceled the fucking show. Liz comes through with the seller. She gives me 3 spots. I didn't even ask. Just randomly kind of happened. So kind of whatever. So now I'm like double furious. Now there's this canceled gigs. I'm mad because I don't like to be in any kind of confrontation. Right. So this double fucks my day. Then I'm going to tell you this wild move. Lady who lives with my mom got my mom a present for my son. Okay. I look at the present through Zoom because I didn't see it. I didn't see the present. She goes, look, she gave him something. It says to chopstick. Let's take that a second. Not to Calvin. She called my son chopstick. Some 60 to 70-year-old woman in Pennsylvania I've never met did a nice thing and bought my son a gift, but then also called him chopstick. Fun fact about Thai people. They don't use chopsticks. Okay, so it's double fucking racist. You're referring to my kid as fucking child. That's like, do you know Emmy Blotnick said this? I thought it was so funny. It's like, what are we at the cellar table? Like, if you the kind of insult that is like Rich Voss. Like, you don't get that. You have to do years of open mics before you can be that fucking insane of an insult to my kid. So I'm sitting here looking at my wife like, what the fuck is this? The kid doesn't even chopstick. I'm sitting here like, I'm like, now I'm just like, I'm like leveled. I'm leveled angry. And then I forgot who I
Can I stop you?
Stop me because I think I'm out of gas.
Well, the next time that a woman screeches around the corner and almost hits Calvin's stroller, you can scream, "You almost killed Chopstick!" Do you realize that? You almost killed Chopstick. And then you run her down, you pull her out of the car, you go, "You almost killed Chopstick." Then you pull her close and you kiss her.
Shut up.
In front of Tita, Greg.
Yeah, Tina put her fist in when she went, "Asian drivers!" You chopstick. Insane. I mean, that's really all the things that happened, but it like kind of just put me in this like crazy funk. But how do you, I mean, let me ask you.
The negotiating thing on comedy, it's like I always try to do that before when they offer the gig. Because people do this thing where it's like, and I don't know if it's conscious or not conscious. If they know comedy, it's conscious. If they don't, if they're just ignorant, then it is what it is. But they always go, "Are you open this date?" I go,
"That's not how we do it."
"Yeah, I'm open the date. What's the money? What's the ride? Like, where is it? What's the money? Like, what's the feature money? Like, what's the time? Are there any constraints? Is it a private gig? Like, what? Give me details."
They always do that.
Then they're kind of like, "Oh, well, it's this," and then, but I'm immediately like, I know now what I'll go for, and I'll know what I won't go for. So I'll go, "No, can't do that," and I'm nice about it too, because I'm like, I can't do it, but I can throw you names of guys who might. Like, I can't do that. So, and then also, I don't have a car, so it's like I need a feature to come and I need them to open. So how much money are they getting? And then I always give them gas, and I always like whatever. So it's like I factor that into the final money.
Gas and a cheesesteak. You have given me a cheesesteak multiple times. You show up at my house, go, "Thanks for the ride. Here's a cheesesteak." And then when you don't, you go, "Here's the money for the gas. I threw an extra 20 because I didn't have the cheesesteak." Swear to God. There's people need to know that this is not a joke. You've done that to me. An extra 20 because you didn't have a cheesesteak.
Well, it's a good. Anyway, I always factor, and I can do it pretty fast in my head. I always factor it in, like, okay, they're going to underpay the feature. They're always going to underpay, but the feature is going to drive. And if it's like 3 or 4 hours, it's 8 hours in the car. That's gas, that's toll, that's wear and tear on their car. So it's like if they just give travel money, I just give all the travel money to the feature on top of whatever they're getting.
Right.
If there's no travel money, I just put it in my fee because I know I'm going to give it to them.
Right.
So, and that's the way it goes. And then if they go, "I can't do that," I go, "Okay, it's all." And then I don't have any kind of like, there's no, should I've taken that? Because I always err on the side of, I don't want to take that because I'm not going to want to do it if it's not the right money. So I always go high, and as I always, not high, but I always go, I want to feel comfortable doing this. I want to have enough leeway to pay the feature. I want to make it worth it for them. Or if it's not worth it for them, I'll go to the feature. I'll go, "Look, the money is low on this, so I understand if you want to turn it down." But it's, be upfront as possible with people. So if you have a feature going, because they got day job, like they're working too, and it's always, everybody's got their own situation. So if they go, "Oh, I can't," or whatever, then you understand it. But just like be upfront with everybody. This is not that big of money, but if you want to just run something close to town, then you can, and I'll pay for the gas and tolls or whatever, and whatever. But if you want to turn it down, definitely get it.
Right. This guy who booked me, I'll be honest, man. A lot of people I've been working with him for years. I have empathy for this guy. I like him. He does things that are shitty. He does the same thing. "Hey, here's a date." No. Give me the date. Give me the money. Blah, blah, blah. The reason I did this is because he offered me a few, and then he just was. I said, "Hey, can I bring this comedian with me?" And he was like, "I don't know if she can." He goes, "I don't know if she can do it. Let's do this other gig first." So it was just kind of like a throwaway gig. He's like, "Do this gig, $400." I went, "Yeah." Like it was kind of like a quick one, but I was like, "Fuck!" I didn't go through the list, of like, what do you blah 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 blah.
Right.
I didn't do any of that. And so now I'm just kind of like, whatever, man. Like, you know, like he knows what he's doing. Right. And it's because he's scared. He doesn't want to just say it, but it's like, it's a lot of underhanded. Yeah. It's like, I'd like you so much more if you were just fucking upfront. Right. You know, just be upfront. This is what this is.
And our problem is, and I don't want to get too I don't want to get too far away from the macaroni.
Let's get back to the pasta, sure, after you're done.
But I do want to say this. It's like it's drilled into our heads that we need stage time.
Right.
It's drilled into our heads. And if there's a silver lining to any of this pandemic stuff, it's that you don't.
Right.
I mean, you do need it to get better, but you don't have to take every gig that's offered to you, especially when you've been in it years and years like we have. It's like, it has to meet your standards, or else we are accomplished enough that we could just work the city. Like I can work out whatever I need to work out in the city, or I figure out another way to work it out. Like I don't need your whatever you're coming at me with. Either give me what I'm asking for, and some people legitimately don't have the budget. If you can't do it, then you can go to some, like I'll give you names of people who might do it.
Right.
But I'm not doing it.
Right. If I can't eat in a restaurant, I can't go to that restaurant. I'm not mad at the restaurant.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just can't eat here. That's okay.
Right.
Yeah. And to your point of like the stage time thing, it's like, it's so true. It's like, I've been doing comedy long enough that it's like, oh, actually, let me delete that. I want to say that's more important. Then we can go on whatever you want to say. But I've been working the city a lot because I'm not really traveling because of the kid. And then I was like, well, it's not going to get this hour isn't going to have the chops for everywhere. And then I said, you know what, Greg? I took a breath and I went, well, maybe it'll only be a set an hour that works for people who want to hear the things I want to say. And then maybe all the people who will watch the special will just be people who are aligned with this. You know, like maybe that's a thing. Everything is so niche now. Yeah. Maybe this hour isn't an hour that I'll do that works in Nebraska and Canada and Czechoslovakia and God bless Ukraine. You know what I mean?
Right. But can I say something to that? And
I'd love to hear it.
Get this over real fast. That's a thing. And that's a thing people are, I know the way you're saying it in terms of like, you're doing it like, look, I don't want to be afraid of having to turn down work so I can work on it here. That's a legitimate thing. But you're not this way anyway, and neither am I. But some comics, I think, skew that way in terms of like, they go, well, if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. It's like, well, no, that's not true.
What do you mean get it? You get it. Just explain what you mean there. Sorry.
Well,
if you get it, you get it. Get what?
If this is not for everybody, so if you don't get it,
okay.
And it's then you just don't get it. It's like, well, that's not true either. It's like, I understand what you're saying, and there's some truth to you doing your own thing. But if you're doing it across time, and the majority of people are not getting it, or the laughs, there's different levels of laughter, and it's not getting the laughs, the gut laughs that you're looking for. It's not funny enough. So you're going, oh, this is you're just not getting me. It's like, nah, they're getting you, and they're a fine crowd. Maybe they're not the most comedy savvy, but they're good enough. It's like what you're doing is personal or whatever it is, but it's not funny enough. It's like it's not funny enough. Like make it funnier. So some of it's their responsibility. It's like, oh, this isn't my crowd. This is comedy. I get all that. Like I don't want to dumb it down for them. It's like legitimate. But if you're doing it across time and it's still not getting the laughs, it's like, okay, you need to go back inside and work it out.
Let me pause you and ask you for this real quick, because this is my question. And this material has been working, but I guess where I'm kind of with that is that like sometimes I'll do some jokes about being an atheist that I am just more afraid to tell to a Long Island crowd, you know what I mean? Or whatever, you know? And like, so my question to you is that like, okay,
can I give you a suggestion? Yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off. Replace atheist with January 6th. I'm sorry, Greg. I needed to. The fans they needed it.
They need it. Hey, if you're going to come over to my plate with an extra meatball, I'm going to take the extra meatball. I don't care if I got food in my mouth.
You're going to offer me an extra meatball. I'm going to take it.
If you guys say, Greg, put your fork down for a second, and you put some meatballs on my plate, I'm only going to thank you for that. And that's what you did. You
had some meatballs in your plate, Greg. Do you pull them close and then kiss them? You know what I do. Shut up and then kiss them?
I put the fork into the meatball. I put it in front of our faces, and we both start biting until it's a kiss. And then I pull the fork away and I go, now we're just kissing. And as soon as that fence of the fork goes down, my tongue goes right in and I go, that's a rigimortis. Call back.
That's a callback, everybody.
That's it.
Just when they thought it was getting too serious about comedy, and Michael V. Suarez warned us about this. He's like, don't get too serious about comedy. And then we had to punch it up a little bit.
Oh, maybe for the Patreon, I do want to tell you my Chris Rock story / Dave Attell story. I think we're coming to a close here. Should I save it or should I just tell you?
Nah, do it for the Patreon. Let's save it for the fans. Let's save it for the top tier, and the envelope is a little bit light.
Oh, yes. Want to land this thing American Airlines style, where we pull somebody off screaming?
Let's land it American Airlines style, which means we never took off because it's canceled. Canceled. Yeah.
And for our benedictions, I do want to say I want to give thanks to you. I know that we were weird about doing Zoom. Yeah. And I know we do better in person. But I want to say I really enjoyed this. I had a great time today with you, Mike, over Zoom.
This was a good one.
I really think we found a little bit of a way to do it on Zoom if we're going to do it that way.
Yeah. I mean, one person has to speak their truth and do their narrative, and the other person can punch in.
Punch in.
Which is an industry term.
And I loved your energy today. You had great energy. You have great lighting. Mike came in with the song. What?
I've been drinking coffee since I drank coffee all last night, so I didn't sleep that great. But got up, had Chipotle, got a cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and we're moving.
A breakfast Chipotle.
Yeah, I'll eat it first thing in the morning.
You're a man like no other man.
It's kind of like a monk's breakfast. You just have a bowl, you have rice, and you have a little bit of meat, and that's it. It's a monk's breakfast.
It is. That's so funny. Like you should sit on the floor and they deliver it to you. I love a monk's. You should go to Chipotle and go, I'll have a monk's breakfast, please. And just see what they say. Put that on the menu.
I'll have the Eternal Peace Bowl. Guys, that's going to be it for us. Join us on Patreon, guys, for our top tier subscribers. Thank you. And also, it's patreon.com/Macaroni Rascals. And also, the envelope is a little light. We love you guys, too. For Greg Stone, for Michael V. Suarez, I'm Mike Vecchione. Baby Meatball. We'll see you next time.